good evening, ladies. I hope everyone is well, and welcome to the Empowered Women Book Club book review session. Tonight, we are here to not only discuss a book, but also to reflect on relationships, expectations, self-love, boundaries, and also the lessons that we can learn from our own experiences and also the stories that we have read in the book. The title itself is provocative, and we are not even here to criticize men. Those that know me bayazi ukuthi hayi abafana siyabathanda shem. Some of us are even married to men, so siyabathanda labo bantu. I just want to make that as a disclaimer to say, as Empowered Women Book Club, we are not anti-men. And so the book itself, or this discussion, it's all about understanding the relationship dynamics and also recognizing the different patterns and also empowering ourselves to make those choices that will support us, support our growth, and also our happiness. Because there is some stories where you can say, if I don't learn one thing or two here, I it's still going to get hectic and hectic in the relationship. So tonight's session is all about what modern relationships teach us about ourselves even. So the objectives for tonight is to reflect on the key themes in the book and also share personal insights and lessons. I want to extend this objective to say also share personal experiences, explore healthy relationships and self-worth, and also build connection and sisterhood amongst each other, because this is our time where we come together once in the end of the month to just come and share about the book that we have read and also check in terms of where we are in our lives, what's happening. So I want us to start by introducing ourselves. And maybe as you introduce yourself, you can also share how you have experienced the book or how the book made you feel, or also how the title of the book, how did it make you feel? Because I know there's some of us who haven't read the book. You're most welcome to join in, have fun, and also just engage with us. So I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands. You're just welcome to unmute and introduce yourself, what's happening in your lives, how did you find the book, how you feeling, how did the title spark an interest on your side. From my side, I'm Moralo Nematayeni. I am based in Polokwane, in Limpopo, here in South Africa. And the book itself, I was just like, yo, this is porn, but it is so much fun. So that's how I experienced the book. Um, thank you. Over to you, ladies. You're most welcome to introduce yourselves.
Hello, ladies. Hope you're good. My name is Catherine Peary. I'm an author of 6 books, and we are also reading my book in June. So, the book is one of the 2 books that I read this month, and I was laughing throughout the stories because the stories were so unhinged. And this wasn't my first time reading Demi's stories. My first book by her was it's called Big Bumps Matters. So I know how unhinged she is, but I really love the stories. And we got to see it from different views, from mothers, from girls, from pastors' wives. So the book was very good and I enjoyed every part of it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nonkululeko Diana Shelton. I am from the Western Cape. Um, yeah, I'm still reading the book by the last book that we did, so haven't touched this one. But I'll share on what the title did for me. I do feel like Menelegas are mad. Um, yeah, yeah, that's it. So I'm excited to hear what everybody has to share.
Thank you very much, Nzadi. Ladies, you're most welcome to unmute and introduce yourselves. I had said Nzadi because I see you are unmuted, but we can't hear you on this side. But if anyone is ready, you're most welcome to introduce yourself, check in, and then let's proceed. I'll just give it a few minutes, and if there's no one else to introduce themselves, we'll move on.
Evening, ladies. My name is Butlale. Oh my word, I haven't read the book. I'm excited about it. School has just held me down, work has held me down. So, yeah, I'm excited to hear what the ladies have to say about it. And going to start it next week. Hopefully, by Friday, I'll be done. Mulalo, don't do that. Hopefully, by Friday, I'll be done and I can jump onto the next read. Thank you so much. Oh, and I have a question for is it Kathy? The next book that we're reading, the author. I have a question. Can we get your books at any bookstore? I think I sent the question in the group, but I haven't received a response. Thank you.
Hi, Mulalo. Can I still reintroduce myself because I was not aware that I'm muted. Yes. Mulalo.
So I think you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I was just saying my name is Nzadi Libilo from Mokopani in the province of Limpopo. I'm a new reader, started like reading 4 months ago. I'm still battling with reading, but I'm very much interested to learn every day and to keep up with time. With the recent book that we are reading this month, I got it very late, I think a week later. So it seems so very much interested. I think I read 2 chapters so far. I can see the pastor's wife having a lot of questions towards the husband and the lady of the night. That's what I got. I've read for 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 the chapters that I read. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and welcome to the ladies that have just joined us. From the chat, there is a message saying, "Hello, beautiful queens." Wusiwe Ngwenya from Gauteng. She says she's exhausted but good. So Wusiwe is also an author. And then Catherine just responded to the question from Mutlale to say, yes, the book is available in bookstores. Anyone else that would like to introduce themselves and then just share how the book made them feel, how they're experiencing the book, or their thoughts on the title?
Hi, I'm Tandeka from Johannesburg.
I have not read the book yet. Looking forward to reading it. Have been observing the comments from the ladies. It sounds exciting. After reading Busi's book, ngathi this one is a notch higher. We'll see.
Hello, my name is Busisegede Khumalo from Gauteng. So I read the book a while ago. I think I had met the author at a book event, and then she was just launching her book. So it was 2 or so years ago. But I remember while reading it, I was laughing the whole time because really nearly all the men in Lagos in that story are mad. And I remember she was saying that a lot of people, she got a lot of hate for the title, especially on Twitter and everyone else. But I think it's such a clever title. And I think the stories, a lot of them, they're so funny. They're so relatable also and so dramatic that it really ties in with the title. So it's really one of those books that you enjoy. And I found it hard to pick like a favorite short story or because they were so very funny and so relatable. And yeah, and the storytelling was beautiful.
Thank you so much, ladies, for the introduction. I think that is everyone who is ready to introduce themselves at this point, and also just to check in to see how you experience the book. So before we proceed or before we share about the book itself, I just want to share briefly to say that the book itself explore the experiences of various women who are navigating love, dating, marriage, heartbreak, disappointment, and hope in modern Lagos. So in these different stories, they are women who are searching for love while dealing with betrayal, unrealistic expectations, emotional unavailability, and societal pressure. From just my memory of the book, I think I read it in like 3 days because on the second day I had work commitments. If it was not for that, I would have read it in a day or a day and a half. And the book itself was an experience altogether. I remember when I picked up the book, the very first page, I even shared it on the book club. The very first line, I'm actually laughing because I was just like, oh my word, this book has been sitting here and I had not even read it. And now I read the first line and I'm like, what is going on here? That's why when Butlali was introducing herself to say she hasn't read the book, I was like, Njani, Njani. Because the first story is like the first line saying, one night you will calmly put a knife to your husband's penis and promise to cut it off. It will scare him so much that the next day he will call his family members for a meeting in the house. He will not call your family members, but you will not care. You won't need them. Your husband's family will crowd the new apartment, a bedroom and a parlor, called self-contained by Lego's agent you got 3 months ago. It will feel like they surround you. They will exclaim, sigh, frown, click their tongues, gnash their teeth, and repeat 1,000,000 times that you committed an abomination. So when I read this, I was just like, yo, I'm not putting this book down. And just reading through that, even the lady who indicated they've read their first story, it's a story where this couple is going through the most because some people date, they fall in love, and then even when they don't have much, they decide, let's make a baby so that the baby can join us in our suffering. Um, sorry for being insensitive, but that's just the reality for some people. And then now they are busy in their suffering, and then this lady is selling by the streets, and then there's this man that will come and buy and sometimes give her even more than what the produce that he's buying costs. And then later on, they start becoming friendly, chatting, and then this guy asks the lady to accompany him on a weekend away gallivanted on Dawn. And then she tells the husband, and then the husband tells her, yeah, sure, do it. Like the husband allows this lady to go and sleep with this man for money. And then she does it. So this apartment that she got 3 months ago is the apartment that they moved to after she slept with this man who then funded his her goals and dreams and then gave her money. But now when she has done the deed with the other man, then the husband does not want to sleep with her anymore. And then now there's this double standards, and then now she's just like, hey, when so now the family members are there to find out about this experience. I think in the book club group, we're talking about how this just shows double standards because later on she was just telling about his own mjolo to say he's sleeping with anyone and everyone, but now with this, which he allowed, then he does not want to even touch her. And we see this, we experience this. It's so common that men are allowed to go out there and cheat and do whatever they want to do. And then when they come back, bazontshela uthi, mosadi o tshwara thipa ka bogaleng, and then they will say women can take it. But when it happens the other way, then they will tell you that a man can never survive such an instance when his wife then goes and cheats. Some would even kill the wife for such an act. But when a man goes out there and jolve, it is acceptable. It is fine. They say that's just how men are. In Venda, there's even an idiom where they say, Mona ndi ndo halimrimti. Like the man is an elephant, and an elephant does not eat just one tree. I don't know if there's such in your own languages, but even with that, now we see a generation of women who are saying, hi, a woman, naye, it's a tree, does not get eaten by one elephant. So it's just a mess. And then now that's just one of the stories that we see in the book when they're talking about the men that are in Lagos. Um, yeah, but like Bosi said, there is so many stories, 12 in total. And there is those that will stand out for you as you read the book. There's those whose characters you can relate to. And then there's those that will evoke emotions. So I think she tried to touch on different themes, different experiences. A wife who is hiding the infidelity of the husband, and then the wives that are dealing with men who are homosexual, who are gays, falling in love with other men, but married to those wives, and then they try to get the most out of the relationship financially. So, men that are not taking care of their women, and then the women fall in love with others, and then they move on in their phase. And then there is women that falling in love or finding love or looking for love, searching for white men and men from other countries to fall in love with. There are men that will just say they will change to suit a woman and then marry her for their money and even change religions. even get new names after they've converted, and just to chase the money. So it's different experiences. And I just want to hand over to some of the ladies that have read the book and then just share about your experience of the book. What relationship pattern did you notice? And then throughout the stories, and some of the stories, you can just pick a story if you want to talk around red flags that we choose to ignore, and then we take it from there. Let's see who would like to come in.
Hi, should I raise my
Hello.
hand? Hi,
You're
guys.
welcome.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening.
uh, Sorry, I was listening when I got connected. Busisi Gile was the one speaking. I think the second speaker that I heard from the beginning. So I got to hear how she took the book. Mina, I took it totally opposite because at some point the book was painful and not necessarily some games on it when someone is playing because they want to get married for fun and use the lady. But there were points where I feel like women were so disadvantaged or being put on a spot, like that pastor wife. I don't understand. Maybe she was trying to uphold the family business or the family name because she's also saying, do you know where I come from with this man? Do you know how I met him? Do you know? But because of the lady was telling the truth, she said, I know that this lady was not lying because that's what my husband does when he's sleeping with me. So that gave away the fact that that lady really slept with the husband. And then the painful part for me was when the wife didn't want to accept it publicly because because the man comes first before even your emotions, before even your shame, before even your identity as a woman, before you become the wife. So that was a bit bad. But I understood at the end, Uti, maybe it was if it was gonna be out there and the guy apologized like he was suggesting, maybe it was not gonna be the same. You know, when you've been cheated on or someone has broken your trust, you don't go there the same that you did before. You are cautious, and it always reminds you that this person did this. You can forgive, but to forget is something else. So maybe the woman knew that if they go publicly, because she had a lot of stuff around her, IT people, people doing media, PR, all those things. And then just so that this thing doesn't get out. But deep down in her heart, there was no faking, there was no lying. She knew that it was not, it's the truth. That lady was trying to be whatever, but the husband slept with the lady. And then the other story that was very painful was that one where the guy loved this woman but didn't want marriage. And he explained why marriage uh, uh, messes things up. Marriage destroys love. Um, because he's seen it somewhere else and he didn't want to marry this lady, but he loved that lady. And the lady went to introduce him to his parents and brothers and sister, whatever. But the lady, for her, it was a deal breaker. The lady wanted to get married. This is why she broke up with him. And the guy was like, okay, because they were not on the same page. So maybe sometimes they're saying, we need to sit down and talk about what we want so that if it doesn't go the way, we know we've spoken about it and we're on the same page. The story is beautiful. It's a love personified chapter. The guy knew that this is my person, but then unfortunately, the lady defines relationship by marriage, and that's not how things should be. Imagine if everyone was to get married; it was not gonna be possible because we are not even the same number. Maybe that's why old people used polygamy because they were saving a lot of things. They were trying to be securities and putting women in better spaces whereby they all get married because the number is not the same. If you check the statistics, one girl is born or five girls to one. boy. So obviously, and it's happening globally, not only in South Africa. So I don't know what we're eating that produces women or what God is doing with this. But ladies are a lot. This is why when we're fighting on romantic relationships, men complain, but women complain a lot because we are too many. These men have a lot of options. Yes, you're not the same, but they can go from me to you to the other and the other and the other and the other, and and it's easy. Yeah. So the guy was I loved that the guy was very honest to himself. The guy was saying, I don't want to get married. I don't want this marriage thing. I love you. Like, I'll do anything. I'll leave everything. I'll do whatever. But I don't want marriage. I want us to be together. But but the lady didn't understand. And I think when you don't understand the person that you're with, you might as well close shop, because certain things will shock you and it will be like they're doing it deliberately, whereas they are just being true to themselves. And we are told to be true to ourselves. But if we need to compromise our characters and personalities and what for a person, then maybe it's not worth it, because I'll be living your life, not my life, but in my body. So it means that I can even go astray, because then at some point I'll be tired. I'll be tired of living what you want rather than what I want. I'll remember the another story. I'll come back. I think I put some notes where I was not happy with some character, but those two, they were very, very emotional for me, because I love the fact that there was a balance. On the other side, the man was wrong. On the other side, the woman was wrong. For me, that lady was very wrong for thinking that marriage is the ultimate. It's not the ultimate. You can be with your person, love each other, grow, because you grow. When you're with the person, you grow every day. You see certain things and you grow with the person. The important thing is how you connect. When you are able to see me that I'm not happy at something, or when I'm angry and I want to be alone, and then you give me some space. That's the relationship. It's not about marriage. It's just that maybe people glorify marriage, or they see it as an achievement, or I don't know. For me, it's something else. Maybe it's a blessing, or it's something that is sacred, or it's for certain people, not everyone, because people can be married and be miserable, but Bakawahana was in together in marriage and be so happy, because they're not in each other's faces or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, it's not my kind of book, but I'm happy that I read it. I'm not a short story girl. I want something that will continue tomorrow and until it ends, and say, maybe like Busigile will give you a bomb, or Osbus will give you something. It's like, okay, yeah. So I'm not but I did read it because I wanted to understand I even smelled Lagos in that book. I don't know. It felt like I was in Nigeria, the cultures, and there was a lot of teaching and education there, the ibus and what and I got to get. So even when I did my own research, I was really researching from something that I read, and it was nice to know of the cultures and other cultures, and why they brought down to 3, and why there's others and all that. So it was interesting for me. I hate Nigeria for a lot of reasons, but I will not stop reading about it because I hate it. I hate it with passion. I don't like anything about Nigeria. So I when I see even a person, if he looks Nigerian, I turn my way. I don't like it. I have a serious problem with Nigeria and what is happening there and what they're doing around, not just in South Africa, but globally. I don't understand what is the problem with them. And I wish I can ask them questions, but I don't know if they'll be positive or they'll be honest. Yeah. Thank you, ladies. The book was nice. I'm happy that I read it. It didn't take me long. It was flowing. It was nice and painful. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing. When you were talking now towards the end, I even put my hand on my chest and my face was like that emoji that was shocked. And I'm like, you, where Nana? Um, I've been to Nigeria. And I can confirm that nearly all men in Lagos are mad because I was in Lagos. And within 24 hours, I already had a marriage proposal. Even though I was saying, Yo, Mshatile, I'm married already. He was like, we're going to try and make it work. And I was just like, what is wrong with this man? I literally had to run for my life and locked myself in the hotel room. And then he knocked, and then I did not open. So I can confirm nearly all men in Lagos are mad. But I've also had beautiful experiences with men from Nigeria. I've dated Nigerians when I was still in Richards Bay, and it was so much fun. So now when you are like, yo, I hate, and I was like, hey. Yeah, so some of them are mad, some of them are doing all these bad things, and some of them are just here to love on us and call us baby girl. Yeah. So, ladies, anyone else who has read the book that would like to share about their experience of the book? And I think when we talk about Nigeria, we mostly talk about the men and not the women. I have friends from Nigeria and different experience altogether. Busekile, over to you.
Oh yeah, I wanted to qualify why I said I found it funny. I think it was the storytelling, the way she tells or narrates the stories that is very funny to me. And also because it I consume a lot of like on TikTok, if you watch like the Nigerians or whatever, like their story times are exactly the way she would tell the stories, of the women who are knowingly date these men, knowing that they are gay, and sort of having these lavender marriages and still feeling righteous about it at the end of the day. And I think also because when it comes to when you're talking about women, especially Nigerian women, they are one of the biggest pick-me's like in the world. It's Nigerian women, Black American women. I don't know, South African women, I don't know, but Pygmism in Nigeria is peak, and you can actually tell from the way the women are very male oriented, even in the stories, and the way they lean to these men who are. And also, I feel like Nigerian men are very charming. They're very charming, but they are very misogynistic. You pick it up when you're talking to them, when you interact with them. Um, and also the way they see women, or especially South African women, like they talk about South African women as if they are a stepping stone, or the fact that I can give you money and you can debase yourself for me or whatever. So there's that in it. And you pick it up also in the stories, but I really enjoyed her storytelling and the way she narrates, and the way you can pick up the flavors, you can pick up the smells and everything, and a bit of sarcasm here and there. So it really, that's what I found funny. And also I think I'm at that stage where I think I really, I am a romantic person at heart, but also I find relationships funny now. I think I'm at the point where I laugh, where I'm supposed to cry, because I think as women we have to get to a point where you choose yourself. And I know, Wuti, the way we socialized plays into it, but at some point we have to stop and say, I got nawe pussy, like, and laugh at yourself, because the things we do for men and the things that men make us do, and you pick it up in the stories also. So yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing that. When you said you find relationships funny, and then you spoke about the things that we at times do for men. I loved that angle because it's taking us directly to the next part of our engagement tonight, where I want us to have a personal reflection. Because, yes, books are very powerful, and then they help us question some of the things that we do. They help us question how we respond or react or not react in some of the situations that we find ourselves in. And maybe from those that have not read the book, you can answer this based on what you have experienced in your lives, not just with Lagos men, but even with Zulu men. I can pick on them because I've dated Zulu men as well. Um, and then what you've experienced from vendor men, I can pick on them because I'm married to a vendor man. So you can just share about what are the lessons, either in books or in life, that will stay with you. And what would you tell your younger self about relationships? And also, what relationship standard or boundaries are you committing or committed to maintaining going forward? Because I know most people have decided, I think now that's why people are just like, yo, women are just doing as they please. If I read Catherine's status this afternoon about the comment on how women don't even want to have kids these days, and I was like, bring that person to me, and then I'll tell them where to get off. So you can just share personally or what it means to have a healthy relationship today for you. Over to you, Butlale.
Sure. Yeah, no, it sounds like a very interesting book. Thank you so much for sharing, Tifa. I think you spoke a mouthful. And just from the bits that I'm getting, I think this book should have been called Men Are Crazy. Because with what you've all shared, it's quite relatable to what we go through with South African men as well. So yeah, no, I think they should have actually called it Mjolo the drama, at least. Because yeah, no, Mjolo uyashaya shem, uyashaya. Malalo, going back to, I don't know if I should call it a boundary or lessons, but I think the most important thing that we women need to learn is to put ourselves first. I think once we move into relationships, we turn to, focus and forget about ourselves. And we focus so much on men and we put them first. We prioritize them with everything. And I know it's in our nature. We are nurturers naturally, We look for um we look for things like we always clothe or Teko had a very nice word for it, but we shield everything. If there's drama, we are the ones that want to take care of the drama and say, no, let's do it this way. If so, but in that we forget so much about ourselves. We forget ourselves, we stop loving ourselves. We focus on loving the next person more than loving your own self. And that's why it's so easy for men in divorce to forget about you and move on because we invest so much. We even invest our own selves, in relationships. So it's very important that I think we need to go back to the drawing board and start focusing on us, on ourselves. Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you. You speak about focusing on ourselves, but what does that mean practically?
Loving yourself, Moralo. Like simple things. When you go to the shop, or a woman, when she goes to a shop, she'll think about the kids and her husband and forget about yourself. How many of us here buy ourselves bras regularly, buy ourselves underwears regularly? But yet you can go in and buy your husband this and buy your kids this and even forget. I don't know. I think in my lifetime, I have maybe 4 bras. Okay, not lifetime, but yeah, I think I have 4 or 5 bras. And most
Yeah,
of them,
one you're
some
wearing,
of them
one
are
you wear
small, some
to
of them are
go to
big.
the bin.
Bona, kitty brasa before weight loss. And I'm still wearing them even now. Because whenever I go to the shops, I forget about me. I focus on the whole world except me. Do you get what I'm saying? So simple things like that. We relax. We we turn to relax and focus so much on
how to love the next person and not really love you. You get women who are fitness bunnies before they get married. After marriage, umuntu ukhohlile nge-gym. The person is busy by the pots. Hey, what's again? Busy up and down, chasing after them and checking. Okay, what's that? Guys, let's put ourselves first.
Thank you very much for sharing that example. I wanted us to get that practical because for me, it was in a self-love retreat that Mashudumbele hosted. It was in 2022 when that discussion around the things you do practically for yourselves. And Me Maria, she's not here. Mariam Famati, you know her, she's one of the authors in our book club. And she was just sharing about that simple things like buying yourself bras. So, homework for today. I'm buying your underwear, guys. Please go buy yourself nice things, go buy yourself nice underwear. And then you wear it for yourself and feel good. Because some of us, you're just like, yo, if I were to fall here, the things that people will see under my garments. So it's just one of those practical things that one can do to put themselves first. Anyone else that would like to share personal reflections, lessons, boundaries? Diana?
Yes. I think for me, what I had a son before I got married, and the breakup was really intense for me. But what I learned was I really needed that breakup because I learned so much about myself. How do I like eggs? How do I like what type of friends do I want? I think it's so important to get to know yourself and to consistently find who you are at every at every juncture. Just find out who you are. And if journaling works for you, do that. If taking a walk or taking a jog works for you, to just hear, who am I at this point in time? And now I've been married 15 years, and it works for me because my husband also understands that every once in a while I need to get out of Cape Town because I used to love the city, but I don't love it anymore. But it's where I'm raising my kids. So I allow myself to travel by myself without the kids. And initially I think I used to feel guilty about it, but I don't, because I do think, because we are nurturers, we do give a lot, but you cannot pour from an empty cup. Yeah. We have to learn. I like what Botale said. When you love yourself, you can love the next person. Yeah, so that's what works for me.
Thank you so much for sharing. I think another homework, travel, guys. Leave those people alone. Leave that man with the kids and then go away and do these things all by yourself. Busisiwe?
Yeah, evening, ladies. Sorry, I was busy. I was eating earlier. I didn't want to be chewing and talking. Yeah, and another thing is that your money is your money. You know, there's that thing where a person would want to make you feel guilty for spending money on yourself. I mean, as you say, travel, whatever, but if you want to take yourself out for coffee or do things for yourself, do it, and then let anybody make you feel like, oh, Mara, why did you leave me behind? What about us? But also, I wanted to say you should not settle, because at times, and I was listening to the story Tshego was talking about that. At times, people get into situations, or they sit into situations because it's like, I should be married by now, I should be in a relationship by now, I should be doing this by now. So they settle just for anything that comes wearing pants. And also, we get comfortable in relationships, and even when they no longer serve us. So when something doesn't serve you anymore, there's nothing wrong with cutting ties. I read a story about a lady who signed a contract with their would-be husband to say we'll be married for 5 years, and after 5 years we'll go back and check whether we still want to be together or not, and whether this thing is working for us or not. And after 5 years, she checked out. And the guy was not ready, but she was like, no, this is not for me. I'm checking out, you know. And also, don't be pressured by anybody or anything. Thank you.
Thank you. But your man is your man. Eish. When you say that, it's like it hit hard because the guilt, more especially you with kids, where you are just doing something with your money for yourself and you're just thinking, yo, what about my kids? Yo, what about my husband? What about this? What about that? So, but your money is your man. So go to that coffee shop, have the coffee, don't feel guilty about it. Because sometimes when you start feeling guilty, it takes away from the whole experience and you're just like, yo, guys. Anyone else?
Yes, because it's conditioning, actually. We're conditioned to think like that. When a man wants to go out and have a beer, they'll go out and have a beer. Why can't you go out and have coffee and then worry later? Because if you don't do that, you'll start saying, "Mara wana wena di tlaku, tjhelete ya ka ela." You see, you start shouting at people. No, enjoy your money.
Yeah, and if I want to go and have a beer, I must just go and have a beer, hey? I think ithanda kabi beer. Busekile.
I think when it comes to personal, I had this conversation with my friend some time ago, and we were talking about marriage in general and what it does for women. And we came to the conclusion, my friend and I, that marriage does not benefit women at all. It really mostly benefits the men. And we also came to the conclusion that we've done the marrying for love, and in our next marrying, we're marrying for money and connection. Because we've done it, we've been through it, and I do not recommend. And the fact that I think we also spoke about how we were lied to as women, you know, that whole be a good girl, don't date so many guys, find one guy, settle down. I think it's a scam because how are you supposed to know that this one man that you've met is suddenly the end and the be all of everything, you know? Um, Go out there. Like if you said, what would I tell my younger self? I'll tell my younger self to date more, you know, to go out there, experience other guys, other men, and just see. Of course, there's nothing much to see, but just see. Because I hear horror stories all the time from people who are dating. There's not much outside, but still, to travel, to not get married early, to not have a kid early. Although I did have a kid in my late 20s, but you know, I would even wait until my 30s or 40s because I feel like life really changes for women once there's marriage and once there's like children also involved. As much as you try to put yourself first, when it comes to court decisions, when it comes to thinking about your career, you have to like sort of put your kids first. You can't just like now if I get an opportunity to go overseas, I have to think where's my daughter going to be? Who is she going to stay with? This and that. So, as much as we want to put ourselves first, marriage and children are sort of a cage, you know, no matter how well loved you are, no matter how cared for you are, but the burden, the onus or the burden lies on the woman. So, yeah.
Yo. Thank you so much for sharing that and just appreciating your boldness for being able to voice out those things because we live in a space where we're not allowed to say those things. We're not allowed to feel these things. When you were talking about your friend, I was like, your friend is like my friend. I've got a friend in Bulawayo, and then when we talk about all these things, we even talked about how marriage is structured in such a way that it favors men, like how you were saying. And at the end, we've concluded that you only need God and other women, hey? But ke singaphakathi emshadweni. And then we still have others that are joining, and then we are saying, "Hayi bazobona ngokwabo," they will see it for themselves. Catherine, over to you.
Hello, ladies. I'm sorry, my device was refusing to unmute. So I was listening to Ubusi talking, and it's also one of those discussions that you have because I'm one of those people who is not married, don't have children, and have friends who are married and have children. So we always chat, about those things, and they tell me about motherhood and how they wish they had waited before that. And and then I have family on my side asking me, when are you getting married? When are you having children? And then at the back of my head, I'm like, I haven't had that urge to want to have children or to get married. So I feel like we also have two different types of people. People who will tell you that and children is going to hold you back, and then people who would want to push you towards it. So it's nice to see women talking about those things and telling us who don't have that yet to say, don't rush into it, think about it, and wait until you're ready and not be forced by society. As I said on Facebook, that I was having a chat with my Uber driver, and he was talking about how women no longer want to have children and how it's selfish. But who is it selfish to or for? Because men just want to trap women with marriage and children and then go about their lives while women's lives are stuck. So I'm just, or even on my side, I'm happy that I'm not letting society rush me to say you are growing older, you should start worrying about this. What if you don't get married? What I'm just happy, and yes, I'm dating and I'm happy with my mjolo, as Mlalo loves to call it. So yeah, thank you so much, ladies, for always telling us the truth about what happens inside and not just cover it up as our mothers used to say. Would see marriage is a beautiful thing and they hide the pain and the struggles and make it seem like it's this beautiful thing when it's not. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we love, hey? We love seeing those on Facebook. So continue enjoying your mjolo. Busi, I'd seen your
No,
hand.
yes, I wanted to say to Catherine, she must just carry on the way because I had my child in my 30s. I was not in a hurry to have babies. I wanted to do anything and everything and enjoy my money. Well, I still am, but so don't let society pressure you. Just do it when you feel like. If you don't, you never ever feel like doing it, it's okay too.
Thank you so much. When you say it's okay too, it is okay, guys. I saw a post in someone's status when somebody was like, I am a mother and my toxic trait is I tell other women to not have kids. And when I responded to that WhatsApp status, I was like, nah, I'm not a mother and I'm telling people to not have kids. I'm like, don't do it, guys. Don't fall for it. Diana?
No, I think I pressed by mistake, but I don't want to lie. Being a mother has been a blessing for me. And I know it takes a lot. Um, yeah. So I would definitely advocate whoever does want children to have children. But I also have a lot of friends who don't have children, and they've been such good.
community mothers. Yeah. And so I think that's why I think the one thing that I would advocate is know yourself, know what your life's purpose is, and I think maybe the best thing is to have a relationship with the creator of the universe, because he's the one who's going to tell you what capacity you have. Some people have capacity for children, some people have capacity for the youth. So I think that relationship with yourself and with the creator will give you a roadmap. And I won't lie, I enjoy my marriage. I love my husband. I find him quite fascinating. He's not perfect. We've never had at the beginning of our relationship, it was not perfect, but I would never want somebody to not experience what love or commitment has been for me. I wouldn't want anyone not to have what I have, but I also wouldn't say everybody's meant to be married. So my thing is, know yourself and then live yourself. Live what you feel your purpose is freely, without society's expectations, because not every marriage is going to be the same. If you know yourself and if you live your life fully, yeah, that's it. But yeah, that's.
Ooh, I love that. I was literally dancing when you were like, I love my husband. I was like, yo, nangiyayithanda love, guys. So yes, yes to love. Tseho, now we are Tando, me and Mark.
I'm not going to talk about him. The two last speakers, as we were saying to Catherine, please do it as long as you can, as long as you feel, as long as you want. And I say 1,000 claps to that, because why should we hurry, or why should we be pressurized? Why should we be told how to live our lives when we never told anyone how to live their lives? What works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for me. So that's how life is. And I really appreciate those women who are still in their 20s and deciding what they want, and they just not forced into motherhood because the condom busted, or they were not ready, and then the next thing, the period is not coming, and then you are forced to be a mother, because most of them teenage pregnancies, I don't think they went and did babies. It just happened that something went wrong, or they were not fully informed. Yeah, so you see, and now I took my time with everything, even though my partner was always there. But I was not fascinated by rushing into marrying him or whatever. So I took my time because I knew that I wanted something, and I wanted it to feel right. And the second lady who just spoke now, I also clap 1,000 to her. For me, I don't know if my life would have been the same if I was not in this institution. You learn a lot about a person, you learn a lot about their culture, you learn a lot about something that you didn't grow up in. You become a mother and you learn a lot about yourself. I look at my daughter and I see myself, because she looks exactly like me. So even when she talks, I'm like, is this me? And I don't know, if I didn't have her, what would I be saying about who? So challenges are there and everything is there, but the journey is something that is priceless. And I don't want to lie to you. Sometimes I cry, sometimes I'm happy, and I feel, oh God, do you really think I can raise this little girl? Do you really believe that and trust that I can do it? And I want to do things right, and I don't want to repeat my parents' mistakes. I want to be informed. I want to be a conscious parent. I read. I give her books. All those things that I try to say, no, we can do things differently. We can be best friends, but grow up together. While I'm raising you, I'm also being raised, because I'm becoming something that I want you to look at and be proud and say, I want to be like a mother like you, because you allowed me to do aviation. You allowed me to be a Formula driver. You allowed me to be something that I want. I'm not telling my daughter to be a doctor or a lawyer. I don't want that. I want her to explore. I went to JSE last week. They were talking about opportunities in the ocean, that people are buying taxis and cars and buses, but they don't know if that we have a shortage of shipping transport. So I want my daughter to think out of the box. I want her to explore. I want her to run like Usain Bolt, if that's what she wants. And I want to be there to support her. So this thing, it cannot be a one blanket thing, right? I grew up in a house and a household that marriage was done truthfully, and you would like marvel at my mother's marriage, marvel at my aunt's marriage. You couldn't wait to get there, because they were doing it. I don't know what they were doing behind closed doors. Now I just saw the beautiful things. Even when there were challenges, people were together. Something about it is that even when we have a challenge, but we are together. You know that you're not alone. I know that if now I collapse or something, someone will pick me up and make sure that I'm okay. Before my mother comes here, I'll be sorted. And if I have to die, it will be my time to die. Yeah, I will not be alone and lonely and sad and miserable. Some people are single, but they're not mad, they're not miserable, they're not lonely. They just love that thing of being on their own and doing what they want and not reporting. We are not reporting, we're just being responsible. Hello, baby, I'm leaving. I'm going to see Mulalo at Protiano, and I'll be coming home late because I've got dinner with her. It's not reporting, it is being responsible. If anything happens to Protea, my husband knows that I was there. So something that he should check and find out if we are okay, if there was a bomb or something, if Trump put his people there to shoot us or something, to cause an uproar. So he'll know that that's where I am. And it's also responsibility. You are becoming accountable to a person that you're committed to. You don't have to say everything. It just depends on how you and your person's constitution is. And it's not a constitution of marriage. It's a constitution of relationship. How you do it with your sisters, how you do it with your brother, your mother, everyone. That's how relationships work, friendship or whatever. So I am saying, I don't know if anybody has read Never's Conditions. It's one book that made me cry the whole way. This lady, so in previously, it looks like child were not taken to school. Only boys, because they expected boys to marry and then take care of their wives and children. So the wife's job was to be in the kitchen, literally, and garden, and to raise kids. So the husband will go and work. So the girls were not taken to school. And then you know that someone was going to come and marry you. They don't expect you to be educated. So you'll be you're dumb adult. I don't know if I didn't know how to read and speak English, how I was going to run my marriage, but I was going to be that person who agrees to everything and not know anything. So when they say information is power, they wanted women not to have information so that they don't have power. So the men will go and do whatever, because then you're relating to this guy. This guy is feeding you, number one. When someone feeds you, they own you. You are hungry, they come to give you bread. You can't even go and find out for yourself how you can make that bread when you have brains, when you have hands. I mean, what's that? So now I questioned a lot and I asked questions, and I was asking, and my mother was a working woman. The women in my family were working. Some were single, not married. So meaning they depended on themselves, and they had kids and they raised them. So I would look at that and say, look, and most people that I know, women who are successful, they're not married. And I was thinking to myself, what is this? They have their money and eating it both sides and doing whatever they want. They are doing businesses, they are doing properties, they are raising their children and taking them to school alone. So it shows all sides of the coin, all pros and cons of the coin. So Tizi Dangaremba on that book, I think she was bleeding, and I see her as that little girl who the brother passed away. So the brother passing away, it gave Titi the chance to be sent to a mission at the uncle's place and get education. Otherwise, she was going to be stuck at home like her mother, like her aunt, who never had anything. And the son died, and he was the only son. It was only girls, I think, and Titi was the next online. So it broke everything. I don't know if it's generational, what. I don't know if it's a curse or what, but how do you give birth to kids, and not treat them the same because the other one has a penis and the other one has a vagina? What's that? What are you saying? Are you saying you're a better mother when you're a woman, when you are mothering your daughters, and when you're mothering your sons, you're an even better mother? Why can't you do the same thing for them? So Titi got education, and Titi was very smart. I don't remember how the brother was, but it was very smart, and she questioned things. But this uncle's daughter was worse. She was way too smart and way too inquisitive and way too feisty, So Titi was polite because she was not at her home. So she was polite and doing what she needs to be doing. But the daughter in the house was like, hey, what is this? And she would always get punished because she's speaking like this. The mother was like, what? Are you my daughter? Yeah, so it teaches you that book. I wish that every woman reads it, it will empower you not only mentally, but even when you look at yourself, you think, "Oh, I deserve to be who I am. I deserve beautiful things, and I deserve to be able to read." You know, reading is a cure. It cures all diseases because you know these things from somewhere. You know, God didn't give us a manual, but I think He gave us literature, and people like are taking it to another level. And when Busi went to see her, I was like, "Busi, this is a dream come true for you. Please take whatever you can from that woman." I've read all her books, and I'm crying, and I'm thinking how I can be able to interpret what she's saying and hear it my way, this millennium way, because nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. But we were able to take our kids to school. We're able to make sure that they are able to sit on themselves and decide what they want to do. I told my child, "Don't get married." And she's like, "Why, Mama? You got a good one." I was like, "No, just because you think your father is good doesn't mean that you're going to get a good one as well." I've told you what I did. I spoke to you and I told you what happened. But the boys are thinking the different ways nowadays. They're not thinking such things. They're thinking other ways. And I don't want you to be trapped. I don't want you to get married. I'm not saying don't get married. I'm saying think about it. It's not something that that you will do and then you think that I'm going to be happy. No, I want you to be independent. I want you to, when I die and when your father dies, I want you to be able to stand on your own and buy yourself a car if you want. I don't want you to be sulky and say my parents are gone. No. So I think it goes a long way. And I want her to decide if he wants a colored man, he shouldn't be worried about me. It's not about me. It's about her, and she must put herself first. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, you said a mouthful. And I was so happy when you were talking because when you were talking about marriage, I was like, for me, marriage is having someone to come home to or come back to. I love to gallivant, but at the end of the day, when you are like, "I'm home, honey, I'm home," it's a different experience altogether. And when you gave the example about being responsible and having someone just to worry and care for you, it's a beautiful thing. We just say it's someone to do life with. And thank you also for sharing about the experience with your daughter and when you were starting out, her being free to do whatever she wants, the career she would like to choose, and you being able to see yourself in her. Now, as convincing as it is, I'm not going to have kids. I don't want to have kids. I don't want to see myself in anyone else. But when I was listening to you, I was like, okay. I always say marriage is good for us, but I think also motherhood is good for us. So those that want, please go for it, have fun, make babies, and then let us find love and joy in all these different spaces. So yeah, you are allowed to allow a stranger to put a stranger in your tummy, ladies. Busekile, your hand was up.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. My hand was up. I've forgotten what. But I was now laughing at you saying, allow strangers to put strangers in our bellies. I think it all boils down to it all boils down to what one speaker said about knowing yourself and loving yourself and doing all the work within yourself, because I feel like as we grow, you might enjoy something now and then tomorrow not want it, or like give yourself grace and enough room to say, okay, the me of today is not the me I was yesterday, and it's okay, it's still okay. You're allowed to change your views on marriage, on children, on relationships as you go, because one thing about life is that it F's us all at some point, and we are governed by our experiences and everything else that happens. And oh, thank you for talking about me meeting Titi. That was like once in a while. Like I really enjoyed. And I think when I read Never's Conditions on the flight on my way to the UK for that book festival, and then when I got there, and then just before our session, because I was moderating that session, Titi was like, may I please know what questions you want to ask me and everything. And then I showed her the questions, like I had written very impressive English. I was taking notes and I was asking very, detailed questions. She was like, sorry, but can you make the questions more general? Because I haven't read that book since the 1980s. I was like, oh my God. Because it's as Seho was saying, that the book is so relevant even today that we forget. I forgot that it was written in the 80s. It was published in the 80s, and so it's been there for over 4 decades. And I don't know what that says about us as society, the fact that what women went through in the 80s is still what they are going through now. And it's very funny, or it's very, I don't know, it just makes you ask yourself this question about, will our daughters still also be, you know, fighting against the same things because they're born girls? I remember when I was pregnant, at some point I wanted to have a boy, not because I think boys are better, but because I was remembering all the things that I went through as a girl, and I was like, I don't want my child to go through that. And well, she is a girl, and I try as much as I can to like shield her and sort of like protect her light and do better. But the truth is, no matter how good you do as a parent, you can't really protect them from what society does. And the fact that I think the more we equip our girls, the more boys seem to be falling behind. And I don't know whether it's now a thing of we should start raising boys the way we raise girls, or I don't know, but it's just, I'm rambling. But yeah, I think the stories, when you look at them, the stories from the 80s, and there's stories from Lagos and whatever, there are certain different countries, like Never's Conditions are set in Zimbabwe in the 80s. Nearly all men in Lagos is, 3 or 4 years ago. So it's very funny that we still go through the same thing, different generations, but we somehow are all tied to all the societal issues. And I wonder how we're gonna change them. But I guess we change them by making a decision to go and buy bras and take yourself for coffee. I've been listening to this conversation with my daughter. She's 7, but she's been giggling along, and I know she's listening, and I know she's like taking some points from it. So it's I think we change it one book at a time, one conversation at a time, one little decision at a time. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah. Yeah. This is beautiful, ladies. And I just wrote there on the chat to say those that have not read Never's Conditions, it was one of the books that we read in the book club. So please make sure to get yourself a copy and then read. And let's keep making those recommendations on the group so that others can also get to read. So I just want us to do something different today, where it's all about empowering yourselves or reflecting on who you are. And maybe just share one thing that you appreciate about yourself. I will go around and call each one of you to just come in briefly, share just one thing that you appreciate about yourself. Butlale, what is the one thing you appreciate about yourself?
Hi, can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes.
Sorry, can you repeat what is one thing I appreciate about myself?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm, my wisdom, knowledge. Yeah, yeah, that.
Thank you for sharing wisdom, knowledge. Some of us have seen it live. I was doing the clocked thing when you were talking. Busekile, what is the one thing you appreciate about yourself?
I think the fact that I'm able to adapt to whatever life throws at me. I think I really am adaptable, and I am able to hustle from nothing to something. Or what? Oh, Tingo says that also I'm her mom. So that's one thing I also love about myself, that I'm a mother.
They chose that for you. Thank you so much for sharing. And as you say those things, um, please, ladies, feel free to affirm yourself. Feel free to speak boldly about yourself, because one thing you might not realize, when you get the courage to say such things about yourselves, you're actually doing it for the other ladies that are here, because I might not have the courage to say, yo, I hustle. But when you say it, and then I connect it to a conversation where someone is like, you are where there is none. You are a hustler. Then I'm like, oh, people can say that about themselves. Okay. Next time I will have the courage to say that. So thank you, ladies, for sharing. Catherine, what is the one thing you appreciate about yourself?
The one thing that I appreciate with myself is that I am happy and content with myself and who I am.
Thank you. Happiness. Diana, what is the one thing you appreciate about yourself?
My free spirit. Yeah, that's it. My free spirit.
Thank you. Health and beauty. Is that Hunat? What is the one thing you appreciate about yourself? Mary Konopi, what is the one thing you appreciate about yourself?
Hi, good evening, ladies. I got nervous hearing my name being called. Um, sure, I've enjoyed this conversation so much. What I appreciate about myself, I think it's my ability to remain calm. You know, things can really be turned upside down or be turning upside down around me, but I remain calm. I'm not phased. Yeah, I think that's gotten me out of situations that I can think clearly, even when things are not fantastic. My calmness helps me through it. Thank you.
Oh, I love that. You must ship that calmness to Limpopo. Yeah, health and
I'm always
beauty.
in Limpopo. I live in Midrand though, but my husband comes from Wamatatane, so I'm always in Limpopo. I'll pop by and drop it off.
Thank you. I'm in Polokwane. When you are here, bring the calmness. I'll pay for the
I
lunch.
shall.
That's
I
fine.
shall.
Uh, health and beauty.
Hello, ladies. This is Hunajine. I couldn't retype my name because I came in late. Thank you very much. One thing I appreciate about myself is my empathy. I think the fact that I'm able to listen to others, it has opened good relations with others, and that works so well for my business and any other thing I'm trying out. Thank you very much, Malalo and others.
Thank you. Wanienza mlalo et al. In others. This is getting serious, eh? Welcome. Masibudi, Mama Bolo, what is the one thing you appreciate about yourself? Ndiso, what is the one thing you... Oh, it is you, Vero. You are here. Is Masibudi your name? My goodness. Um, you had text about your voice. Sorry to hear about that. Yeah, but one thing I appreciate is your voice, Shem. People will hear it next time and do get well soon. Ndiso, yo, I wish you were close. Bengizokushaya ngeklapa. This one who's texting that they are shy. I always say that, guys, I don't like it when people say they are shy because who does it benefit when you say you are shy? Now you are in this room with this women where it's just us, where you could be unmuting and sharing about who you are, what you do, what you want in this life. And you've got sisterhood amongst yourselves. And sometimes we say we are shy in spaces where we should be raising our hands, we should be raising our voices, we should be taking up space, we should be doing the most. And one thing that I love about a virtual platform is you don't even have to switch on your video if you are shy. You can even write on your booklet to say, my name is Muraro. And then one thing I appreciate about myself is that I'm full of nonsense, Jay. I'm ungovernable. So you can just do that. I'll come back to you. I'm going to Nzadi and Seho, and then I'm gonna come back to you. You can just write that one line. You'll see maybe it's you appreciate uthi you are ungovernable like me. Nzadi, what is the one thing you appreciate about yourself?
Okay, thank you, Mulalo. One thing I appreciate about myself is that I don't shy to ask for help, and I'm someone that loves to learn new thing every day and empower myself in any way possible in life. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Seho, what is the one thing you appreciate about yourself?
Uh, amongst many, I'm realistic, man. I'm real to myself. I'm not fake, you know. If it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good. I don't pretend to be fine when I'm not, for example. So I'm real. Like if it's raining it's my season of raining. It's raining. And I will not lie to you and say, I'll tell you exactly, hey, get better. And a huge thing for me is that I know a person. I don't care whether you don't have an eye. For me, you are VIP. Your spirit is what I value, Yeah. So I don't take people because of materials. No. I will do what I do to a president. The same thing I'll do for you when you see yourself as a nobody. That's me.
Thank you so much. I saw on the chat there. Oh yeah, you are still here. Ndiso wrote it. My name is Ndiso. I appreciate that I'm quick to cut off. If I smell nonsense, I cut off and move on. I hope you're not saying that because I said I'm full of nonsense. Oh. But thank you so much for sharing that and also staying with us. Please don't cut off, don't run away from the call. We love you, and just the courage to put that down because we need to borrow courage from one another, and then we need to know what it is that makes us stand out. And we've never done something like this before, but after reading this book, I just thought one way in which we can do this is to empower ourselves, because sometimes when we speak about empowerment, people think about the thing that you do for other people to empower them. And then empowerment should also be about what you do for yourself. So please continue saying all these things about yourselves, continue affirming yourselves, continue being there for yourself, so that even when you make all these choices in life, it can be something that is in line with who you are. So as we come towards the end, ooh, it's a good day because Catherine will do the announcement about the next book and then the cost, and then invite you to the review session, which will happen on my birthday. um so tonight's discussion has also reminded us that relationships are not just about finding the right person. It's also about becoming the right person for ourselves. And so the book might have highlighted a lot of disappointing experiences, but our takeaway from this is not hopelessness. So our takeaway, it's all about the wisdom, the discernment, the healing, the self-worth, and also being able to appreciate yourself amongst the relationship itself. And for me, to you ladies, when you spoke, more especially when you spoke about the beauty of marriage, it did something for me. So after this, definitely I'm going to call Mom Jolo, guys. Now I love love, but sometimes I say sometimes you just have to leave love alone. I think I posted it on my status a few weeks back. But sometimes you just need to leave love alone. And that's where I was in my head mentally. So, and I was just like, I'm leaving love alone for now. Like, I just want to breathe, guys. In. But now when you were talking, it just ignited something in me. It reminded me of the time where we would say, we're doing life together, we're doing miracles together. We can just say, let's make miracles. So thank you so much. It revived something in me. And as we close, may we never shrink ourselves to be loved. And may we know our value. May we be able to communicate our needs. May we be able to honor our boundaries and also choose relationships that reflect the respect that we deserve. Mostly people speak about women wanting to be loved and men wanting to be respected, but you find yourself with lo mfana ngiyamthanda. So now here on the other hand, it should be lo mntu ndiyamhlonipha. So let's have this both ways. And thank you everyone for attending. And then I'm going to hand over to Catherine Piri to take us through the announcement and share about the book for the next month, when the review will be, how much the book costs, and don't own, and what it is about. Over to you, Catherine.
Hello, ladies. So, the book that we are going to be reading in June is called A Love That Heals. It's about love, healing, and faith. The book goes for 250 rands. It's available in stores, exclusive books, and bargain books. It's also available on Takealot. On Takealot, it's 205 rand. It's also on Amazon for 205 rand. I currently do not have copies with me. All the copies that I had have been bought, so I don't have copies on me. So you can just buy in stores. But I don't know if I should order more for those who want signed copies, but I have a lot going on at the moment. So please, can you guys buy in stores, online, on Takealot and Amazon? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Catherine. And so I love that heals. I can't wait to read that book. I was just waiting for this review to end. I was hoping I will start tomorrow, but it looks like it's me and that book tonight. So, ladies, have a lovely evening. Hambani hambani nyojola. Go to your loved ones, your kids, your partners, your siblings, your parents, family members, friends, and yeah, just go and love. Thank you and have a lovely evening further.
Thank you, Mulalo.
Lalo.